guys, today I'm going to read you this called Miss Daisy is Crazy. My Weird School, book number 1. And I'm just going to read you 3 chapters. I hate school. The Miss Daisy and Principal Clutch. How to spell read. Chapter 1. I hate school. My name is AJ, and I like football and video games, and I hate school. Our teacher, Miss Daisy, was taking attendance. It was the first day of second grade. Miss Daisy told everyone in the class to stand up, say our name, and say something about ourselves. All the kids laughed when I said I hate school, but there was nothing funny about it. I have learned a lot in my 8 years. One thing I learned is that there is no reason why kids should have to go to school. If you ask me, kids can learn all we need to learn by watching TV. You can learn important information like which breakfast cereal tastes best and what toys is you should buy and which shampoo leaves your hair the shiniest. That is stuff that you will need to know when you grow up. School is just this dumb thing that grown-ups thought up so they wouldn't have to pay for babysitters. When I grow up and I have children on my own, I won't make them go to school. They can just ride their bikes and play football and video games all day. They'll be happy and they'll think I'm the greatest father in the world. But for now, I wanted to let my new teacher, Miss Daisy know from the very start how I felt about school. You know what, AJ? Miss Daisy said, I hate school too. You do? We all stared at Miss Daisy. I thought teachers loved school. If they didn't love school, why did they become teachers? Why would they ever want to go to school? As a grown-up, and I know that when I'm a grown-up, I'm not going to go anywhere near school. Sure, I hate school, Miss Daisy continued. Sure, I hate school, Miss Daisy continued. If I didn't have to be here teaching you, I could be home sitting on my comfortable couch and watch TV and eating bum-bums. Wow, we all said. What's a bum-bum? Asked Ryan, a kid with black sneakers who was sitting next to me. Bonbons are those wonderful chocolate taste treats, Miss Daisy, it told us. They're all about the size of a large acorn, and you can pop the whole thing right in your mouth, so you don't need a napkin. I could eat a whole box of bonbons in one sitting. They sound delicious. They sound delicious, said Andrian, a girl with curly brown hair. She was sitting up real straight in the front of the class, with her hands folded like they were attached to each other. Miss Daisy seemed like a pretty good, cool lady for a teacher. Anybody who hates school and likes to sit around, watch TV, and eating chocolate treats was okay by me. Me and Miss Daisy had a lot of common. In a common. Maybe going to school wouldn't be so terrible after all. Chapter 2. Dumb Miss Daisy and Principal Clutch. Page 7. Miss Daisy said it was time for us to clear off our desks and see how much we knew about arithmetic. If I gave you 58 apples and Principal Clutch took 28 of them away, Miss Daisy asked, how many apples would I have left? Would you have left, AJ? Who cares how many apples you would have left? I said. I had apples. If you ask me, you and Principal Clutch can take all the apples away, and it won't bother me one bit. You would have 30 apples, said that girl. Andrea Young, in the front of the class, she had a big smile on her face, like she had just opened all her birthday presents. Andrea Young thinks she's so smart. I hate arithmetic, I announced. You know what? Miss Daisy said. I hate arithmetic too. You do? You do? We all said. Sure. I don't even know what you get if you multiply 4 times 4. You don't? I have no idea, Miss Daisy said, scratching her head and wrinkling up her forehead like she was trying to figure it out. Maybe 1, Maybe one of you kids can explain it to me. Boy, Miss Daisy was really dumb. Even I know what you get when you multiply 4 times 4. But that smarty pants, I know everything, girl. Andrea Young beat me to it and got called on first. If you put 4 crayons in a row, she told Miss Daisy as she put the bunch of crayons on top of her desk. And you make 4 rows of 4 crayons. You'll have 16. You have 16 crayons. See? Then she counted the crayons from 1 to 16. Miss Daisy looked at the crayons on Andrea's desk. She had a puzzled look on her face. I'm not sure I understand, she said. Can somebody else explain it to me? Michael Robinson, this kid wearing a red t-shirt with a dirt bike on it, explained 4 times 4 again, using pencils. He had 16 pencils on his desk and 4 rows of 4 pencils. Miss Daisy still had a look on her face. She didn't understand what would happen if you subtracted half of the pencils, she asked. Michael took away 2 of the rows of pencils and put them on his pencil box. Then you would have 18 pencils. 8 pencils. We all said. Andrea Young added half of 16 is 8. Miss Daisy wrinkled her forehead until it was almost like a accordion. She still didn't get it. She started counting the pencils on Michael's desk out loud and using her fingers. She got it all wrong, like 1, 5, bike, 1.5, 8.5, like that. How to act? We gathered around Michael's desk and tried to explain to Miss Daisy how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide numbers using the pencils. Nothing worked. Miss Daisy had to be the dumbest teacher in the history of the world. No matter how many times we tried to explain, she kept shaking her head. I'm sorry, she said. It'll take me a while to understand arithmetic. Maybe you can explain it to me more tomorrow. For now, we have to clean off our desks because Principal Clutch is going to come in and talk to us. I know all about principals. My friend Billy from around the corner was in second grade last year told me that the principal is like the king of the school. He runs everything. Billy says that if you break the rule, you have to go to the principal's office, which is a dungeon, down in the basement. Kids in the dungeon get locked up are forced to listen to their parents' old CDs for hours. It must be horrible. Miss Daisy told us to be on our best behavior to Principal. So Principal Clutch would see how mature we were. Finally, he walked into our room. Welcome to second grade, he said cheerfully. I'm sure we all are going to have a wonderful year together. Principal Clutch said a lot of stuff about the rules of the school. We were not allowed to run the halls and were not allowed to chew gum, stuff like that. But I wasn't listening very closely because I kept staring at his head. He had no hair at all. I mean, none. His head looked like a giant egg. When Principal Clutch was all done telling us about the rules of the school, he asked if anybody had any questions about what he had said. Did all your hair fall out of your head? I asked. Or did you cut it off? Everybody laughed, even thought I did, though I didn't say anything funny. Miss Daisy looked at me with a mean face. Actually, it was both. Principal Clutch replied with a chuckle. Almost all of my hair fell out of its own, so I decided to shave the rest of it off. That's the fattest story I ever heard, said this girl named Emily, and she burst into tears. Don't feel bad, Principal Clutch said. It could have been a lot worse. How? Sniffled Emily. Well, at least my brain didn't fall out of my head. We all laughed, even Emily. Principal Clutch was a pretty funny guy for a principal. Any other questions? Do you have a dungeon down in the basement? Where you put bad kids? I asked. Actually, the dungeon is on the 3rd floor. Principal Clutch replied. Nobody laughed this time. He quickly told us that he was just making a joke, and that he didn't even have a dungeon at all. Principal Clutch must have felt bad. We didn't think his joke was funny, because he invited us all up to the front of the room to touch his bald head. We did, and that made everybody feel a lot better. Principal Clutch seemed nice, but a lot of people seem nice when you first meet them. Then later you find out that they are evil villains who plan to take over the world. I bet he was lying about the dungeon. Chapter 3. How to spell read. Page 20. Before school starts, my mother told me that 2nd grade was the most interesting grade because this was the year that I would be able to read chapter books all by myself. I already knew how to read, even though I had tried very hard not to learn. You see, my friend Billy told me that you really don't have to know how to read. Billy says that when you grow up, and make lots of money, you can pay people to read for you. That sounded good for me. I hate reading. I hate reading, I announced. When Miss Daisy passed out some spelling worksheets. Me too. Me too, agreed Miss Daisy. You do? You do? We all asked. Yep, she said. I can't read a word. You can't? Nope. I can't even spell. You can't even spell the word read? Michael Robinson asked. I don't have a clue, she said, scratching in her head the same way she did when she told us she didn't know how to multiply 4 times 4. Just sound it out, Miss Daisy, Andrea suggested. R E E E D, Miss Daisy said. No! No! We all shouted. I give up, she said. Do any of you know how to spell the word read? R-E-A-D. We all cheered. We all chanted. Wow, I didn't know that, marveled Miss Daisy. You have taught me a lot today. How did you get to be a teach second grade if you don't know how to spell read? Asked Ryan. Well, I figured that second grade don't know how to spell very well, so it wouldn't matter whether or not I could spell. I know how to spell lots of hard words, Andrea Young announced. Me too, everybody else said. Really? Really? Miss Daisy said. Like what? Everybody started shouting out words and how to spell them. But Miss Daisy stopped us and made us take turns. She stopped and had each of us go up to the chalkboard and write 3 words we knew. I wrote tonight, writing, and McDonald's. By the time we were done, the whole chalkboard was filled with words. There wasn't even any room left for more. Wow, Miss Daisy said. You kids have taught me so much this morning. I'm really glad I decided to become a teacher. If you like the video, please like, subscribe. Bye.